What's going on, my friend? Thank you for opting in on my page. My name is Alan, and about 3 years ago in 2015, still in college, I found a community. A very unique community that lived the lifestyle I've always dreamt of. They never answered to their boss, they could buy whatever the luxury they want, and they traveled more days in the year than they actually work. And their quote-unquote work comes down to sitting behind their laptops, clicking buttons and typing things. I never really understand how they do it or what the laptop lifestyle is actually all about, because I was just an average 18-year-old student who barely speaks English and trying to figure his life out, right? I grew up in Kyrgyzstan, dreaming of one day arriving to America. Then I came to the States in a search of an American dream. Ended up working at Target before I got fired, then I found a serving job at Red Robin. I think I was okay with it at the moment. I kept my head down and I worked hard. It was my rite of passage, of sorts, and I was fine with it until I wasn't. I quickly grew tired of serving people who wore expensive clothes, drove expensive cars, and lived in the neighborhoods I wasn't even allowed to get near without a visitor's pass. So I decided to become one of them, become an entrepreneur. I started my own online network marketing business with Bitcoin investments. I had to hustle in the beginning because I didn't know how to, convey the idea with a message system that compels them to get started with their business. But eventually the hard work paid off, it did work out. I started traveling, I quit my job, I was doing business meetings, business webinars, I found a girl, and I made a lot of friends. Then 6 months later, down the road, my business failed. I lost everything. I lost all my money, my bills kept piling up, I had negative digits on my account. And my family was giving me a hard time saying that, Alan, this is what happens when you drop out of college. My girl decided that I'm no longer a good fit for her in her life, and all those numbers of friends I had have reduced exponentially. I picked up shifts at Red Robin once again, trying to keep up with my bills. I thought that nothing could get any worse at the moment, but then I was hurrying up to work, I was late, and I got into a car accident. And just when I'm thinking the day cannot get any worse, I get a phone ring. Mom, Alan, you don't even think about me anymore? You can't even send $150 to your mother? I thought that's why you left to America, to make it big and take care of your old mother. One thing that could be said about my people is that we take care of our elders. It's a son's duty to take care of his mother, especially a single mother who raised him. I let her yell at me. I deserved it. I felt like the world's biggest loser. After all these years and a land of opportunity, was that the best I could do? I was embarrassed and ashamed and broke. I considered the process of going back to my country. I wondered if I leave my country, I figured if I could be a loser in Kyrgyzstan, then at least I would have my mom nearby while I stayed broke. I picked up extra shifts, was working extra hard, and I got to the point where I was so exhausted that I was half asleep while taking orders, and I started messing them up. My boss was throwing a fit at me when I felt empty. There was no drive left in me. But then my grandma's health has gotten worse. We needed to make a surgery to remove the gallstones from her gallbladder, and surgery costs money. I had to sit down. I didn't have any money. I looked at my laptop sitting there, and I knew that I cannot go back. I had to make America my home. I threw myself back into research once again, and a few days later I figured out why my business failed. I figured out my mistake. I was chasing people. And online marketing is all about attraction, attracting people to you. The concept made more sense. Digging deeper, I got introduced to a guy named Michael Cheney, who became my friend and mentor. And he's the one who introduced me the formula. And using his formula, I was finally able to pull myself out from my miserable life. A sister had finally visited Hawaii. My grandma's health has gotten a lot better. I started traveling again, and my mom, she's in Kyrgyzstan, living her life, while I'm in the process of bringing her here. Now, I would like to invite you to a free webinar that Michael is conducting, where he will show you exactly the same formula that I've used to pull myself out from my miserable life and have my breakthrough. In other words, if you're someone like Michael who wants to work only 10 hours a week, spend a lot of time with your family, invest a lot of time into your hobbies, perhaps traveling, then you absolutely want to attend this webinar. This is true especially to the people who's at a point of their life where they're very confused, got a lot of information from a lot of different directions, and they cannot make any decisions, so all they do is just consume, consume, and consume. If you want to get out of that pattern, if you finally want to have your breakthrough and have a business and start seeing income coming in without slaving away to your business, to your job, without selling your soul, right? Then you definitely want to attend this webinar. The life comes down to the moment of opportunities, and this is one of them. So click the link below to secure your free seat, and I'll see you on the other side. And I also see you on the beaches of the world, my friend.